everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday here on the West Coast, a stunning Sunday for the middle of October, I have to say. And I'm here to make a project with you. I can't believe it is so amazing. Hopefully the weather is still good where you are. But here it is, the 16th of October, and my window is wide open and it's just beautiful out there. So if you live in this area and you haven't had a chance to get out and about, make sure you enjoy some of the sunshine that we have. Hey, Nancy, welcome. All right, so today I'm going to make a card using the Leaves of Holly bundle. I think this is my favorite. I probably say that a lot. This is my favorite suite. I really do think this is my favorite suite from the entire catalog. And I have made so many cards using it. So today I thought I'd make another one. Doing something a little bit different today, only from the perspective of cardstock. I'm pretty sure I had some craft cardstock around. I don't know where it is, so I ordered some more because I really like it. I don't use it very much, but I really like it. And so today I am using the craft cardstock as my kind of main focal color. I'm going to add early espresso and cherry cobbler to it. So it's going to be a bit of a traditional Christmas card colors. Oh, and garden green. So I'm going to see how this goes. Like I said, I haven't used craft paper for a while, but I just really like the look of it. Oh, Nancy, this is a great suite. I just love these holly leaves. And this is the one that we're using for the Creativity Abounds stamp camp coming up. So yeah, it's a really fun suite. Okay, let me switch over and we'll get started. All right, so this is it's called Leaves of Holly, and then it comes with a set of dies, of course, two great sentiment, so a label, as well as this really cool one that's got the leaves kind of built into it. And then there's a die that will cut. So this creates kind of a detailed leaves, and then this cuts the solid leaves for behind it. So you can use, say, I don't know, shaded spruce or garden green. Actually for gold for this, and then the solid ones, I don't know. Anyway, you can mix up the colors. It's gold for this and then the green or vice versa. So a really nice way to do that. Comes with both a detailed leaf, and that's what I'm using today, and then the solid leaves. So you can, mix up the colors. 2 sprigs, and then some berries. So it's just really nice. And I love the size, so they're not too small. And then, of course, if you want to stamp, hey, Darlene, welcome from Vegas. Oh my gosh, Susan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the snow in Upper Michigan. Oh my gosh, that's not good. It's hard to believe you're getting snow and we're having, 19 degrees Celsius. So 70-ish degrees here. Amazing. Okay, so the leaves that you can stamp, again, you have the detailed leaf. So it's 2-step stamping, the solid one and the detailed 2-step stamping for the berries, and then some really pretty fonts and sentiments. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I've done some cutting out already. So here's kind of my base. So I'm using my trimmer. I'm using early espresso. I love early espresso and cherry cobbler together. And I think, so when I first got introduced to Stampin' Up, this was a color that I seemed to be really popular, a color combination. And so that's what that's kind of what I started with, was this cherry cobbler early espresso combination. And so it's still one of my absolute favorites. Hello, I'm not sure who it is from Cornwall, but welcome. All right, so I'm going to make a landscape card. So my card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4, folded into the mountain or the raised line, and gave it a good burnish with my bone folder. And then I've got a piece of cherry cobbler. And you might say, Melva, why do you have holes already cut in there? Well, I think I said this yesterday on my live. If you've got a piece of cardstock and you know it's going to be covered over, because there's my piece of craft, and I needed some berries. So rather than get another piece of cardstock, I just cut it out from the middle that isn't going to be seen. So just kind of thinking ahead and saving some of my cardstock. So we're just going to adhere this onto our card base. It's a great way. I think I did this with foil yesterday. It's a great way where you've got foil that you only get a couple of sheets of the gold foil in a package. So, okay. So then this is my craft. It's cut 3 3/4 by 5. It's going to go on like that. Now, before I do that, I'm going to take this and do some sponging and make it a bit vintagey. Since I'm kind of going on to, there's my blending brush. All right, well, we'll use this one. Okay, so I've got a blending brush here and I've got some early espresso. So I'm just going to take and blend. You can use a sponge dauber or a sponge, but I tend to just have my blending brushes around. So this is kind of an old favorite as well, from back when I started stamping, was the sponging. We used to do a lot of sponging. I don't do nearly as much as I used to, but like I said, this is kind of got a vintage, at least I hope it's got a vintage feel. That was my goal with it. So I'm just quite gently, because I don't want a huge amount of ink on the edge. So I'm trying to kind of control where the ink goes and not make it too wide. There we go. All right, so I've just got that blended. I'm going to bring that back out when I actually do my sentiment on. So I also pulled out some Stampin' Blends, because what I want to do is do some spritzing. So I've got my crumb cake and I pulled out, this is the deep, I think this is the darkest of the natural tone blends. So the way that you can do splatters or spritzing, we used to have a great air spritzer that you used with markers, but we don't have that anymore. So take the brush end of your Stampin' Blend. Be gentle, because this will kind of, you know, I won't say damage, but it does kind of cause your bristles, your tip to you know, lose its shape. So gently, very gently, take the lid in one hand and the brush tip in the other, and just kind of rub the tip into the lid, and you will start to get, and I don't know if you can see that, but you will start to get some splatters. Can you see those? There we go. You can definitely see the splatters. Now, I also took and cut, this is the largest of the stylish shaped circles. So I'm going to do the same on here, and I probably should have done my sponging around the edge, but while I have my Stampin' Blend out, I'm going to do some spritzing on here like that. And then I'll bring my blending brush back, because I really want to blend the edge of, or sponge the edge of this as well. Otherwise, this is going to kind of just fade into the background. There we go. All right. Now, I think I have enough. I was thinking I maybe would do some more spritzing. So this is kind of my thought, is that's going to go on here. But I think I've got enough spritzing with the dark. Yeah, the blends work really well. Just be very careful with it. So go quite gently, but you will notice after a while that the brush tip end will kind of change its, you know, it won't be, I don't know, it gets a little fuzzy at the end if you do it. So maybe maybe if you know that you splatter typically with a certain color, maybe have a separate set of blends for splattering. Okay, so that's my thought is going to go like this. Now I've already gone ahead and cut out a couple of these detailed leaves. I'm not going to use both of the leaves. I'm just going to use the detailed one. So get the bits out. So this is garden green. So again, pretty traditional color. You could use mossy meadow. You could use shaded spruce. So this is my thought. Okay, so I'm not going to see a lot. Well, you are going to see some of it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like that. And then I also went ahead and cut out the two berry pieces. And so those go on like that. And I might try and pop them up, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for that. Gee, it's a very kind of vintagey Christmas card. All right, and then the one thing I do want to do is stamp a sentiment. And I'm going to kind of keep this here. So I need a sentiment that will fit. I know what I'm going to do. So there are these, oopsie, there are these joy, peace, and the and sign, the ampersand. So I'm going to take, get one, and get this going the right way. So let's put the ampersand in the middle first, and then we will stamp the joy and peace. Hopefully this will be fairly straight. We can test it out. So I've got the early espresso. So let's see how straight this will be. Not too bad. Okay, so let's take and stamp this over here in the corner in early espresso. There we go. And then this piece can now adhere on. And as I'm doing this, I realized suddenly thinking, now what was I going to do on the inside of my card? And I realized I'd forgot I think it needs very vanilla, just this color combination instead of basic white, but I didn't grab a piece. So I'll have to do that afterwards. All right, so that's going to go on like that. But before I do that, I have some linen thread because I just think it needs something else. So I'm going to take some linen thread and take my Stampin' Seal and just put. So often I wrap this around the palm of my hand, but because this is quite a large circle, I really want my linen thread that I'm kind of just randomly wrapping here to be bigger than what my palm of my hand. If I did it on the palm of my hand, it would just not even, you probably wouldn't even see it underneath. So this is definitely, you're going to see the twine in behind, which is what I want, is to see the twine sticking out from behind my little bit of it. But, okay. All right. So let's add some dimensionals to pop this up. There was a stamp set, was not a holiday stamp set back when I first started using Stampin' Up! Supplies back in like 2010, called something foliage, French foliage maybe. And I just absolutely loved it. And it was one that I often did with these. Again, it was leaves. Maybe there's a trend there. Maybe it's, I really like the leaves. Okay, so I'm just adding, I could have cut this out. I say this all the time. I could have cut this out using my adhesive sheets, put that in behind, but I didn't. So we're just going to add a little bit of liquid glue. And just make sure it sticks. And we'll put that one on. This one's got a little bit more space to get some glue on. Okay, and now I will take and put this on with dimensionals, my berries. Frosted foliage. Maybe that's what it was called, Nancy. It was such, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. All right, so there's the berries. That one bit out. And I'm not going to pop this up. What I am going to try and do is use some Wink of Stella on it. You could take perhaps and use a blending brush on it and add some dimension to it, but I'm going to try and use, I've got some glue, so just kind of grab, lift up some of that glue. There we go. Luckily our glue dries clear, so okay, now here's my Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to kind of take and color my berries, just at least the detailed layer of berries. I still have a fair amount of liquid from yesterday when I colored, so I'm not squeezing at all. I'm just using the liquid that is kind of in the tip. If I squeezed and got it all over the place, I wouldn't be happy. Okay, so now, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. You can kind of see the Wink of Stella. And then the last thing is these are the red rhinestones. So it just felt like they would go nicely. So let's just take and add some rhinestones to my card. There. Gosh. I don't know about you. Oh, I look like I'm frozen and I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. Sorry. Looked like I was frozen there for a minute. So I'm kind of happy with this. So I added some rhinestones. I've got the splatter on. I will add a berry vanilla inside to my card. But definitely a quite a traditional, old-fashioned, I think old-fashioned looking card. All right. All right, here we go. We're back. Sorry about that for my camera freezing for a minute. Hopefully it wasn't too long. So hopefully you try that. If you don't have this, I think everybody should have this in their stash because I absolutely love it. So you might want to consider it if you don't. It was in North America at least not available for a period of time, but I think it's coming available anytime soon for the bundle. In fact, the bundle might be available. It might have been the designer series paper that wasn't available. So if it isn't available, it will be back because I was checking on it recently. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. And sorry, I'm just looking. If you are coming in through Facebook and you haven't given StreamYard permission, go to streamyard.com/Facebook. That way I can see who's actually commenting when you come in through Facebook. So I can see somebody commenting. I have it and I love your, I have it and love it and your card. Not sure who that is, but thank you so much. And if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give permission, then I can actually see who's commenting. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I will be live on Tuesday night at 6:30 for a sketch challenge. I hope you'll join me then. And then Thursday night at 6:30, I will be live, and it's a mystery challenge this week. So I will be posting the clues to the mystery challenge on Thursday morning. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.